We'll go through this presentation. We will not take any more of your time than we have to. There is a fair amount of information to cover in this, and I think from the get-go, from the outset, all of us being parents, all of us having our kids over the years in minor sport, everyone that's here joining us, certainly drinking the Kool-Aid that the magic of minor sport, that it impacts youth in such an incredible way, not only today, but years ago, centuries ago as well. And as Rob was alluding to, the pressure that is on young people today is certainly tantamount to double, triple what we went through when we were kids and we were playing minor sports. It was a very, very different world back then than it is now, and I think that we could have certainly benefited from a program like this. But I think the kids today, there's so much that they are dealing with, both on the ice and on the field and off the field and in school and in life, and looking at the future with AI and the rest of it of what's coming. So I think that they're really going to have to rely on their own inner strength and confidence and everything else that will go into this. One of the things that came up right in the beginning in the conversation with Robin, Derek, and Carter and I was this. I'm a behavioral performance expert. I've been working professionally for 24 years in this, been studying the science of human behavior for 35 years. And I think this quote by Gretzky just nails it, right? That hockey and or sport is 90% mental, the other half is physical. A little tongue in cheek with that, but it absolutely is true. I mean, you can see it, when a player is just filled with confidence, they're unstoppable. Was Gretzky the biggest and strongest specimen on the ice? Of course not. No, right? But what did he believe? Stronger than anyone else, the puck's going in. When it's on his stick, it's going in. And so that mental toughness and strength and confidence and everything else really became, the cornerstone of developing this program. I've been working in behavioral performance corporately for a long time. Transitioning this into youth sport, it just seemed to make such perfect sense that if it's 90% mental for pros, is it the same for youth and sport? And the answer really came down to, well, of course. And again, transitioning beyond the rink, beyond the field, into school, into life, into their futures, and with so much input going on into the lives of young people today. Great PSA I watched on the TV a little while ago of Trey Savage talking to the kids and saying, put the devices down, get outside, go and throw a ball, right? Go and, take advantage of some of these things. And that's, an important part of the message too of this, of putting the kids back in charge of their own lives to be able to do this. So the intended outcomes of this program, what are we hoping that this becomes? The fact that the players will think differently about themselves. They'll develop winning habits that will become automatic. Anything that we do repeatedly ends up becoming a habit, both positive and negative, and we'll talk about that as well. And then, the fact that they are going to own who they are, which I think is just so incredibly important for the coaches, for the parents, for the kids themselves. And I think for their future, and certainly, not to really get too deep on this, but I mean, the future of the country is going to be on their shoulders very, very soon. And they've got a lot to deal with. One of the things that we had to be really cognizant of in developing this program was that it had to be simple, it has to be structured, and it has to be repeatable. So we can't, create something that's going to put a burden on the players, on the coaches, on the parents. And so that really was top of mind. You're going to see a lot of parts of this program and how this all comes together. But in the end, the intention of this is simple, structured, and repeatable as well. So the unlimited mental edge and the My Number, we'll talk about that coming up. Confidence, discipline, every day. And that is the focus of this. One of the things I think that came from some of the conversations early on, and this is certainly my belief as a parent, and I think most people will share this, we got to go back old school. right? The fact that it takes a village to raise a child. That used to be something that was, just ingrained into schools and into life and into families. And I think that that has become really a benchmark of what this program is all about, is bringing that all back so that our part in this is to assist and develop the mental edge training, to assist the coaches, to assist the players and the parents, but for the coaches to be involved, for the players to be involved, for the parents to be involved, to have this come full circle, and to really get back to that raising children in a village setting. I think is a big and a very important part of this. So, how was this created? Rob touched on it, right? The fact that they had the idea about my number and then wanted to bring this out to teams, wanted that to become more and help to create behaviors. Rob and I have known each other for a very long time. Rob knows what I do. And so my background in creating this is not my first rodeo. I've been doing this for 25 years on the corporate side and creating training and development programs for individuals and corporations for the past 25 years. And so I think that's part of the reason why this came together so well, is that I've been doing this for a long time in creating these programs, and tailoring this for youth in sport. Everyone was so excited about it, to be able to get on board and create this and be able to make this available to youth in sport. It was, it's honestly, it's been very much a labor of love in putting this together. This is my website. I founded a company called Tailor Made Leadership about 24 years ago, coaching and training and providing keynote presentations corporately and for individuals as well. Three of the cornerstone training and development programs that we've created over the past 24 years. The Winner Within, for pretty much everyone, primarily in business, that was created. The Elevate program for people who specialize in finance and insurance, and the Self-Directed Success Solution, this program for helping people to really maximize their time, get out of their head, and be able to improve this ability to focus. So these programs, the Winner Within is 7 months long. Elevate is an 18-month program, and the Self-Directed Success Solution is 6 months. So we've been doing this for quite some time. Just to give you an idea of some of the companies that we work with and have gained accreditation from: Motorola, Industrial Alliance, Kraft Foods, Bell, National Bank, all the companies that you see here on the screen.
IAG.
One thing that I wanted to mention as well, just about myself and my belief in this program, in this training, and most importantly, belief in the kids, is that I didn't start out with this company. I started out in life in poverty and parent alcoholism, and was homeless at age 14. So I understand what struggle is like. I understand what hardship is like. And I understand, as my guidance counselor said to me the day I left school at age 16, who stopped me and said, "I want you to know something." And I said, "What's that, sir?" He said, "I want you to know that where you are now has nothing to do with where you can go." And on a personal level, more than anything, I'm really hoping that, can somebody turn their microphone off in the back? I'm not sure
This guy
who it
developed this,
who it
just keeps
is.
freezing.
It's our internet here. It's toast.
Participants whose mic is on. I'll turn Carter's off.
I think that's my.
Is that yours, Mike? All right, we'll try that. But again, and getting back to this, I think more than anything, right, to be able to really instill in the players, because I think that everything comes from this: their confidence, their belief in themselves, their self-esteem, their ability to shut out all the voices of the world. And really, that's where everything comes from. That's where the drive and the skill and the performance and success and winning is all rooted in that. And I think that we all kind of understand that on a personal level. And so for myself, and I think I speak for the team as well, that's more than anything the hope of what this program will do for these kids. So what minor sport provides, I mean, obviously everyone who is who is here on the call is understanding this, that it's physical development, skill development, bonding, hard work, teamwork, relationships, which takes an enormous amount of effort and time from the parents, from the coaches, from the kids in order to check those boxes. But again, in looking at this and going back to that notion that if it's 90% mental for pro athletes, of course it is going to be for kids as well. And we touched on that fact off the top, that the mental health challenges of youth today are extraordinary compared to what it was when we were kids. You look at some of these statistics, 80% report regular stress about their future and performance. 1 in 2 report moderate to high anxiety. Stress level begins at age 11. Your youth are extremely externally driven, and we used to be internally, and that's the goal of this, to go back and connect them to that. Social media comparison, academic pressure, uncertain futures, peer judgment, parental expectations. You can see this starting at age 9, what ends up happening. Stress at age 9 begins to rise. Confidence, life satisfaction at age 9, going down to 17, begins to decline. The youth patterns and adult consequences. Listen, our kids are little now. I have still some at home, and older ones that are off into the world, and it's the great hope. And boy, it happens so fast. If anybody is, sitting there and they just still have, small kids in minor sport, I can tell you in a heartbeat, they're going to be the adults. And so low confidence doubles the mental health risk. Life satisfaction drops. High stress and weak anxiety and poor habits. So, I mean, minor sport is helping with these areas in extraordinary ways. But being able to help them on the mental side of this will be a big part too. Strong self-discipline, and the reports are saying better academic grades, better career outcomes, better physical health, and greater mental resilience to be able to deal with this going forward. So the goals of this program: stronger athletes and people. Here's the outcome that we are, that I've tailored all of the training towards: confidence, self-belief, resilience under pressure, focus and emotional control, discipline and positive habits, teamwork and leadership, character, and life skills. So from to take 35 years of, behavioral science and boil this all down into one slide of how behaviors are created. Interesting to know, not one of us, none of your kids, nobody was ever born with a doubt, right? We're born with an absolutely perfect belief system. But over time and throughout life, every piece of information that we take in, it's stored in, and I use this often, these, files, file folders in the subconscious mind. And so we have files that say, here's how we take a wrist shot. Here's how we make coffee. Here's how you drive your car. Here's how you do your job, right? So this is pretty constant for knowledge and skill training. The problem is that when we have challenges and struggles and failures, they go into those same files. And so, maybe a goalie with, 10 seconds to go, let the winning goal in, and it cost them the season. And now it's in his head or her head. And that's, and that's okay that it happened once. But from a behavioral standpoint, what ends up happening is the person thinks about it again and again and again and again. And every time they think about it, they put another piece of paper in that file. And the file grows larger and larger and larger. And the information in that file now begins to create triggers, which creates doubt, which impacts performance. And I think everyone, on this presentation tonight will attest to that. You see it with your players. You see it with their kids, that they stumble and fall and they have a hard day. And so managing behavior is at the cornerstone of this, to be able to bounce back, to be able to create, files of success that are larger than the old files of losing. It's the exact same process in, in approaching people on a corporate standpoint and on a professional athlete standpoint as it is here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you see him for the Blue Jays. What's going on this year? Yeah, he's still got a high batting average, 290, but everybody's going, where's Vladdy? Where's Vladdy? Well, that is in his head. And you have to know that their coaches and, psychologists and everybody on the team are working constantly trying to help him to do that. And that very much is going to be a lot of the work that we're doing with the players and parents and coaches as well, to be able to drive that performance that way. So the mind and performance areas that we will be focused on here: mental conditioning and focus, confidence and self-belief, discipline and daily habits, resilience and failure recovery, physical performance awareness, fueling the body. It's one of the things I think that every parent is like, yes, tell them they have to eat better. And we will, right? I mean, it's the same thing in pro sports. And, when we're making this story for the kids as well, if you want to perform at that level, we're bringing you a program that is very much in competition and very well aligned with what the pro athletes are doing. Here's your chance. If you want to really elevate your own life and your own play and success and the rest of it, here's your opportunity. So leadership and self-leadership, emotional control and exposure, team culture and support, character and integrity, really, being able to drive home and make that point today, in a world that's just ripe with social media and bullying and picking on kids and everything else, of driving home the point that, we want you, the player, to be the hero. It's easy to be the bully. Be the hero. Be the person that goes and stands up for the person who maybe can't stand up for themselves. And really begin to change this story and turn these players into heroes. Preparation and performance, routines, goal setting and vision. So 12 different performance areas, a daily system of enforcement, and then also obviously the whole athlete, mind, body, and performance in this, being able to drive this home. But again, in a program that is not going to feel overwhelming to the to the athletes or to the parents or to the coaches. They are small incremental elements of behavioral shifting that goes on a daily basis over a 6-month period, which makes a dramatic impact on the kids. So My Number Unlimited, how is it delivered? In a very systematic and structured way. So it starts off with a team launch. So we will come, whether it's as a league level, whether we get all the teams together in a league, or we do it one team individually at a time, with a live presentation to the players and the coaches and parents, whoever wants to come and take part in this, and then also the team's My Number identity, which was the original seed of this idea that Rob and Derek had created around the concept of teams being able to pick a number as a team that it matters to them, right? How many wins are we going after this year? What number is specific and special to us and this team? And that becomes the trigger, and it becomes the visual, and it becomes the driver for the players and the parents and coaches for the entire year. And that standard is set from day one. So the My Number concept is going to happen on that first day. So there'll be a live presentation. If it's on at a league level, and there are many teams there, it'll be exciting. Music playing, food. The parents will break out in groups to talk about what goes on in the program and how they can support the kids. The teams will break up into focus groups on their own, select their My Number, and then everyone will be enrolled in the system, and we'll go on and explain what else is coming in this. So it's the first element of this in the My Number, but then that becomes the visual trigger. And in behavioral performance, it is this consistent dripping again and again and again and again of those behavioral cues that people don't know that it's creating behavior, but it is over a sustained period of time. In the corporate training programs that we deliver, every client is contacted every day with a daily reminder of what's to be done and a simple click a button tool of accountability, whether they did it or not. And so that process becomes Pavlovian, right? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? And the drive of that ends up creating really extraordinary behaviors over time. So the enrollment happens after that day. Each athlete is individually enrolled. The My Number identity is activated. Program access begins immediately the next day. Athletes are committing to the standard. Parents are aligned with the process, and coaches are equipped with this as well. It doesn't just go to the athletes. The coaches and the parents are going to be given kind of a coaching structured guide of how you can interact with the players on a weekly basis to check in with them, find out what they're doing, get feedback from them, and then discuss the different training elements that will be going on. So again, it's the consistent development that goes into the file over and over and over again. So they will receive Mental Edge emails every day with a daily mindset and content that goes in, right to the files of the subconscious mind. Performance videos. So all of these modules will be broken down into individual training videos, short, probably 3 to 5 minutes long on each of the areas, but this is consistent training for them in all 12 of the areas. Pro athlete interviews. Both pro athletes and experts and specialists too. So it could be, a physical training expert with the Toronto Maple Leafs. It could be Max Domi coming on. But rather than having the players come on and do this interview, I spent 20 years in the media, so that falls under my purview as well to do these interviews. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really fun. But the pro athlete interviews are not going to be, oh my gosh, aren't we lucky? Here's a really famous person. Yes, they're going to be famous people, but the credibility that comes from what they say, right? So here's what they had to do. One player will pick physical training. Another one will pick nutrition. Another one will pick, mindset. Another one will pick recovering from failure and injuries and the rest of it. So they're going to be coming on and providing, real life experience training to the athletes on specific areas that they have gone through, as part of that mental edge. And then a performance playbook that going back old school, that in this great world of everything is digital, and that's wonderful, but this is going to be tactile. This is going to be a performance playbook that they interact with every day over 6 months and that they work with. So the different elements on your left, the performance training modules, there'll be 12 of those. The unlimited Mental Edge emails will come to them every day. And again, it's just that very quick, did you read it? Success isn't an accident. It's a result of doing the right things repeatedly, even when no one is watching. And then another one tomorrow, and a different one the day after, and a different one the day after. And then the interviews with the players themselves. Again, simple, structured, and repeatable. So it was interesting when this was all being created from a behavioral performance standpoint. These are critically important. And someone made mention at some point of saying, "Oh, the kids get all this cool swag." Yeah, they do, but it's not swag. This is absolute, mental and visual triggers for performance training that is absolutely essential. When they see the, My Number Unlimited and the 21 is their number, they see that, it triggers that again. The wristbands that they wear, My Number Unlimited, define it, wear it, chase it. The laminated bag tags that go on the players' bags, and then the coaches' cards, and we'll talk about that in a moment, of how that gets used before every practice and every game. So the t-shirt obviously will be customized for the team, whatever it is that their number is, and all the players will get their own apparel on that. If they want to choose additional apparel, hats and sweatshirts and additional things, they can do that on their own. But all of this is included in the program. The wristbands as well. Just just that constantly seeing it on their wrist, that's creating behavior. It is shifting the files in the subconscious mind to be able to move towards what it is that we're hoping they're going to do. And then the coach's card, and the players will have a copy of this as well, ingraining this character and behavior before every game and before every practice. The coach reads out, "Who controls your mind?" The players retort back, "I do. Strong, focused, unshakable." The coach says, "Who prepares your body?" "I do. Fueled, ready, all in." And so this gets repeated before every practice and every game. It might take 60 seconds, but it's going in and going in and going in and going in. And all the players are doing it together. The coaches are involved. The parents are involved. And it's, again, I don't want to harp on this point, but I think it's so important, this, village being able to do this. So here's the number unlimited bag tag that they just see every time they pick up their bag. And then the number unlimited mental edge, mental performance playbook. So this is going to be a vinyl covered full 6 month performance playbook that the players will be using. The daily mental edge system with the playbook will go through and include, again, reiterating the 12 key development areas, from confidence to belief and resilience and discipline and leadership and the rest. There'll be an introduction that the kids will read. What is each of these areas? How are they defined and how does it apply to them? An introductory, a section exercise at the beginning of each of those. Then they will have just a very quick daily mental edge touch point on that topic. So each of the 12 mental edge topics will be covered for 14 days. And then when it moves on to the next one, then there'll be 14 days on that. So the coaches and parents will also be provided a structured role in this.
Wow, that's good, E.
Of how they.
That's really good.
That's really good. Of how they can support the players, both
That's
the parents
really
and the coaches. Once a week, there'll be just a quick exercise that coaches and parents go through with the kids to help them support it, and to know. I mean, from an accountability standpoint, and again, vice presidents of companies that I work with, they still need the accountability as well. So it is a big part to that. So within the playbook, all of the 12 areas will be covered. For the athletes, they'll complete the daily touch points, work through the section exercises, track the progress over 6 months. The
I don't need
coaches
any
use the
extra.
built-in prompts to open conversations, reference the playbook in
I don't need the
practice,
extra calories.
reinforce key areas each week. And for the parents as well, they'll have a log to follow along and to help them to, ask the right questions and remain engaged in the kids in this process. So why it matters to them, for the players, it's personal, it's earned, it's as a team, and it really means something. For the coaches, the players develop mental strength, creates a winning culture, creates an impact on them daily, and over a 6 month period, with everyone pushing in the same direction, you will see extraordinary changes in these young people. And for the parents, speaking as a parent, and I'm sure for all parents, especially today and what's going on in the environment and everything else, builds confidence, resilience, and life skills that will last when they look in the mirror and say, "Who can do that? I can do that." Right? I have the confidence to be able to do that both on the ice and on the field and in life later, going forward. So that's an overview of the program. So for teams that are looking to take part in this, it starts with an introduction call. You can schedule a no-cost team introduction with myself and with the team. Then there's the team kickoff session that we talked about live and in person, whether it's one team at a time or whether it's a league, all getting together for a major event, and then implementing the R number experience, and then building the edge, that 90% edge over a full 6 months, again and again and again and again, and everyone working and pushing in the same direction. So that's that's a brief overview on what's included in the program, what has been developed, what will be delivered,